Hi there, guys. So I'm back with another vlog here, and today the actual plan was to go out and do public interview, and find out about their take on current climates of the UK's political stance and what's currently going on and where the country's headed and stuff in that nature. But because it's very cold, we've resorted to coming inside this building here, and I thought I'd ask my friend here a few questions. So, if I first ask you, what do you reckon the UK will be within the next few years in the sense of political and the way the current Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, where he's directing this country into?
I think Keir Starmer might have to go.
He has to go.
I think he might have to go. He's not doing things so well. If you see what he's done, like there was some disability, like he cut some money from them or something like that, and then the next thing there was this like euthanasia shit. I don't know what's going on with that. Can I swear on your channel?
That's fine, yeah.
And then there was this. There's a lot of stuff he's done. There's this Online Safety Act, of course. Like everyone hates him for that. Like not one person agrees with that. And after that, you've got these digital ID cards. Again, barely anyone's agreeing with them. I think only like Kemi Badenoch was like one of the people that said like, "Oh, I see the benefits of this." Like
Right, so-
every single person on every political spectrum hates him.
Okay, so with Keir Starmer, number one, I wasn't aware that he's had his say, first of all, on euthanasia. So he's actually ruled it out. Like,
Yeah, like they like voted in Parliament for this like assisted dying law, something like that. There was like something going on there. I'm not too revised on that.
yeah, so with euthanasia, I'm sure a place like, Switzerland, they've got it legal there, right?
Yeah. I don't think we should have it legal because, of course, this is like, I don't want to say it's like a Christian country, but it's not anymore. Obviously, it's more secular. It's
Secular
more
nation.
liberal. Yeah, liberal in the free sense, not in the left sense.
But when you think about it, euthanasia, like somebody that's in, a lot of pain, for example, sick, and they want, their sort of way of going out, you think that's still, we shouldn't support that?
Depends. Obviously, I don't think suicide's a good thing. I think suicide is even illegal in this country, right?
Illegal?
Well, I hope it is. I think suicide's illegal, yeah. But
They can't do nothing once you're gone, though.
that's true. But like, if you attempt it, like, of course, there's gonna be problems. Yeah, I don't think we should encourage that type of stuff. But if it's like we don't live in the olden days anymore. Like you can't just like be a soldier and go out like slaying people and going to battle and stuff. But if I was like dying of cancer or something, that would be like a way I would want to go.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think just fight it until if you're in a lot of pain, just like take as much medication as possible. Like if you're depressed, just like I don't know.
think that would vary,
It's not the
yeah.
way. It's not the way to go. Euthanasia is not the way to go.
From person to person.
I'm very against it.
I 100% understand. And with the other things that's currently going on, so he's had his say about the, immigrations,
He's
people
doing,
coming
he's
in.
doing terrible with it. Like, have you heard of that one in, one out scheme?
No, actually.
Oh, it's like they wanna like swap one illegal for like I don't know, like another one or something like that. I don't know. I'm not too versed on that as well, but of course nothing's gonna happen with it. Nothing always happens with.
But when you think
illegal
about it,
immigration.
the war, Ukraine and Russia, and the conflict of Israel-Palestine,
Yeah.
they took people in from Ukraine, but they won't take anybody in from Palestine. So that one in, one out sort of thing.
And they shouldn't have taken people in from Ukraine. I'm highly, you won't find someone in Britain that's like gonna be impartial. Well, you might find someone that's impartial, but you'll rarely find anyone on the side of Russia, right? You won't find anyone pro-Russia. But me, I'm against Ukraine. I'm just gonna say that straight.
As in
I'm very,
politically,
I'm very anti-Ukraine. I'm not gonna like say that we should protect this random nation on the edge of Eastern Europe when we can't even like take care of our own people.
but clearly what Russia's doing to Ukraine is, bombarding them with all sorts of, weapons,
Yeah.
a lot of different things, and they still have some sympathy towards Ukraine. But why don't they have that, for Palestine? And, it's clear what they've done to them, and they're not taking the people in. Is there sort of a moral, difference here?
Who isn't Russia?
Yeah, no. So the people they're taking in from Ukraine,
England.
yeah, England's taking them in, but they won't take anybody in from Palestine, knowing that what's going on there is totally, against the humanitarian.
Yeah, because they're opposed to Palestine. They didn't even recognize it as a country until a few weeks ago, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, so they're directly opposed. They're not on the side of Palestine at all. So why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Of course, they won't take the people in.
So humanitarian, all of these things have just been scrapped, and because they're opposing them, they're not looking at that side basically. So
Yeah, it's just they started the whole thing anyway. They like occupied the place, and then I don't want to say like about the Rothschilds, but if you know, like,
yeah,
they signed like some document in like the 1990s saying something like, "Oh, we want this Israel state to be in Palestine."
Okay. And with, just here in the UK as well, like in the last, say, few months, there have been the St. George flag, the Union Jack, and all of those things. What's your take on them, having them,
I think it's genuinely, I think it's a good thing. The only way you can see it as a bad thing is if you've like had problems with them in the past. For example, EDL.
That's riled them up as well.
Yeah, it's been used badly in the past, but that doesn't describe the whole flag. Now, people might be placing them up and wanting them to be used in a bad sense, not in a English cultural sense, like we're proud of our country and whatnot, but more of a anti-immigration sense.
Yeah.
No,
So
even if they do place them up in maybe even in a racist context, it shouldn't be seen as that way. You shouldn't be scared of this country's flag just because of a minority of people. And I would say it's a minority.
Yeah, 100%, because, the flag itself, there's no issue with that.
We've got plenty in our neighbourhood, haven't we?
Yeah. And, coming to that next as well. So what do you think, like, within just Leicester here,
Yeah.
what do you think the biggest demographic of people here support? Is it the right wing, left wing, or?
Left wing, definitely. 100% left wing. It's very biased to the left wing, especially in the UK. The UK is like one of the only European countries that is still left wing.
But then, don't you think the right wing has more voice, even though there could be a minority?
They have more voice because they know how to portray themselves. So they're more in one single group rather than split off into like different groups like Labour and Corbyn's Your Party and the Green Party and the Liberal Democrats. We're more, I say we're more unified. So we all have like a direct vision of what should happen for the future and our core beliefs. Like some people might be more extreme, some people might be more, going more to the centre, but we're more unified. There's only basically two parties on the right, except from if you count the minor ones, like the ones in Ireland and such, but Northern Ireland. But we don't really see them as a major party.
So in the future, do you think that both parties could come to common ground, or just going to be a further division? Or?
I think what the leader of Reform said, I think he's probably the chairman or something, you know his name, Nigel. I think he said the Conservatives don't really exist. as a single unified party. They're just there to kind of exist as the centre-right party. Before Reform, there was no true right-wing party. And I think Labour and Conservative are two sides of the same coin. And I think that's how most of the right feel, which is why I think this coming general election, they'll all vote Reform and they'll get a landslide.
Yeah, no, really, because looking at things like, you know, the right wing, they completely oppose Keir Starmer.
Yeah.
And when you look at it, the people that actually voted him in, it's a mix of both.
I think the people that only voted him in because he was opposed to the Conservatives. He was the only anti-Conservative option. Well, there was Reform at that time, but they weren't a big enough force. They didn't make many gains and political moves as they're making right now. And I think after 14 years of Conservative failure, I think people will just choose Reform as the only real right-wing party that they can trust.
Okay, and if I was to ask
Even
you,
though they're unproven. Yeah.
Okay, so for you, if you were to vote, or if you have already been voting, who would you vote for? Come in.
You're gonna get me in trouble with this one. Reform. I voted Reform last time, and I'm pretty sure I'll vote them again.
Okay, what changes do you reckon they'll bring in comparison to the other ones that are more positive, impacting to us and everybody else?
Shockingly, I think they might fail where Labour and the Conservatives already failed, which is economically. That they are really good with their opinions on migration and what the general population tends to think, I guess, except from if you're left wing, or even if you're moderate, like Reform can kind of bring them into their voting demographic. But I think that the economical side, I think they just got too many rich people they need to please, and their demographic is mainly poor middle class people, but they're aiming to please rich people. Like, if you see, there's like a whole video done by another YouTuber. I don't agree with him because he's left wing, but he exposed a lot of Reform's kind of funders and just the main people they're trying to please. So when they get in, they're just gonna look to please those people, not the general population, which is what they should be doing. Hence is why they're gonna fail again in the economic sphere. They'll
Very
get things done with immigration, though. I think 100% they'll get things done there, which is the main priority, which is what they're looking to get elected for.
Very interesting take, I must say. So that was, of course, a quick interview here with my friend Zayan, and we'll be doing a part 2 sometime very soon, hopefully. And of course, we'll get the general public's opinion as well. So today is a bit too cold to go out there and record.
We tried, and we met some very interesting people who will say that.
Yeah. Yeah, without any further ado, we'll wrap this up right here. And take care, guys. And I'll see you lot very soon. Take care.
Bye-bye.